Do you want to drive better engagement with your customers while keeping the coffee industry alive? Sustainability and ethics in coffee aren't just buzzwords anymore. They're the future of the industry, and today we're going to explore how embracing these concepts can transform your business into one that's not only more profitable, but also makes a positive impact. Welcome to Coffee Business Hub. My name is David, and here's a little bit about me and this channel. I've been in the coffee industry for over 20 years and done everything from running successful coffee shops, roasting coffee beans, and my favorite part, being able to prepare and serve coffee for all types of people, even including those on some fancy super yachts. This channel is here to share those experiences with you, the wins, the mistakes, and all the lessons learned. My goal is to help you take your coffee business to the next level. In this video you're about to watch, you're not just going to hear my own personal journey, you're also going to get insights from an industry expert.
My name is James Hoffman. I've worked in coffee for maybe 20 years now. I competed in the World Roaster Championship and won in 2007. I started my coffee roasting company in 2008, Square Mile Coffee Roasters.
Together we'll uncover actionable strategies to help transform your coffee business. So here's the plan for this video, guys. First, I'll show you examples from my own coffee shops and explain how I integrated sustainability and ethics into my business, while also sharing insights from industry expert James Hoffman. He'll help provide even more depth and perspective. Then we'll discuss actionable steps you can take to start making changes, whether it's through your sourcing, roasting, or your customer engagement. Finally, I'll give you tips on overcoming the challenges that come with implementing these practices so that you can set yourself up for long-term success. Are you ready? Let's get started. Imagine being able to welcome customers to your store with a story about the farms where their beans were grown and letting them experience the roasting process in real time. They're immersed in the process, hearing the stories of the farmers, learning about the sustainable methods used, and even smelling the roast as it happens. It's something I incorporated into my own coffee shop. Using an electric roaster with an interactive display allowed me to bring my customers into the coffee journey they were enjoying. I could share videos of farmers working in the fields and highlight the sustainability behind each cup. This created a powerful connection between the customer and the coffee, turning an ordinary transaction into a memorable experience. This story was mine, but I want to help you find yours. Before we dive into the how, let's talk about the why. From a business perspective, you might be wondering, what are the benefits of embracing sustainability? Well, firstly, sustainability tells a story, and stories sell. According to research from Fairtrade America, the majority of customers are willing to pay more for coffee that supports ethical and sustainable practices, and this is in spite of inflation. Sustainable practices help build customer loyalty. People will return to businesses they trust and respect. Embracing sustainability can also help future-proof your coffee shop business. By adopting sustainable practices now, you're preparing for a future where these practices aren't optional, they're required. Imagine being known not just as a coffee shop, but as a community hub driving positive change. Let's hear what James Hoffman has to say about the sustainability of coffee.
We're an industry built on fossil fuels. Almost all coffee consumed today is roasted using gas. We know now that's maybe not the most sensible choice, but it's how it's always been done, and that's a massive challenge to overcome as well. I think electric roasting is particularly interesting because you have a choice about where you get your energy from. You could be powered by renewables way more easily. You can choose whether it's going to be solar or hydropower or wind or anything else. If we get to fusion, all of that stuff makes it obviously much more useful as a kind of future-proofing of coffee itself. I think we have an end date on fossil fuels. Obviously when we run out, but I hope before we run out, we work out that we shouldn't be doing it in the first place and we step away from them as a fuel source as much as possible. And in that time, we need to work out how to transition to electric-powered coffee roasting. One of the reasons I'm here is that I see a future where we have no choice but to move away from fossil fuels. It's the right thing to do, it's the sensible thing to do. So to some extent, electric roasting is inevitable. And so whether I want to do it now or not, I need to start thinking about it right now if I want to have a sustainable business, a business that can last decades more. I like the idea of a business lasting a long, long, long time, and it needs to contend with the challenges that are coming, and that means thinking about alternative fuels.
That sounds good, right? At my coffee shops, sustainability was a cornerstone of my business model. Having an electric roaster allowed me to roast beans in-house while greatly reducing emissions, improving profit margins, and giving me a unique story that I could share with my customers. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It wasn't easy. Finding ethical suppliers that aligned with my business values took time, and the initial costs for things like compostable packaging and of course that big ticket item, the electric roaster, were not cheap. There were moments where I wondered if the headache was worth it. But here's the truth, it absolutely was. So let's break this down into 3 actionable dimensions of sustainability that you might want to consider for your coffee shop. Firstly, environmental sustainability. Start simple. Now that customers are more comfortable post-COVID bringing back reusable cups, you could offer small perks like a discount for those who bring their own cup back. Check your packaging. Switching to biodegradable or compostable options isn't just better for the planet, but many suppliers now offer compostable coffee bags that keep beans fresh while reducing waste. Have you got leftover coffee grounds? Don't toss them. Offer them to customers for composting or team up with local farms or community gardens. Even a simple sign that says, "Free coffee grounds for your plants," can turn waste into value. And while coffee scrubs are a fun trend,
tastes almost like chocolate.
Most customers will get more use out of a quick guide on composting them instead. Secondly, ethical sourcing. People don't just want to know where their coffee comes from, they expect it. If you roast your coffee beans, explore tools like blockchain that let customers trace the coffee journey from the farm to the cup. If you buy from a roaster, highlight the farms that pay fair wages and use sustainable practices. Maybe you feature their stories on your website, in-store displays, or even on your menu. Hey, do you want to take it up a notch? What about hosting an event like a Meet the Farmer night, where customers hear firsthand about sustainable farming? Bringing these stories to life builds loyalty and makes every cup feel more meaningful. Lastly, innovation. Technology can make sustainability exciting. If you roast in-house, imagine having a screen next to your roaster that shows real-time footage of the farmers who grew the beans, giving the customers a deeper appreciation of the process. If roasting isn't your thing, consider a subscription service with your roaster, delivering freshly roasted beans straight to your customers' homes. Or perhaps you go digital with an app that rewards customers for sustainable choices, like bringing a reusable cup or choosing eco-friendly packaging. The easier you make sustainability, the more customers will want to be part of it. Of course, challenges come with the territory. Climate change is already affecting coffee production, with studies estimating that up to 50% of suitable coffee growing land could disappear by 2050. For cafes, this could mean higher prices and disrupted supply chains. Some decisions will be tough, but the hardest ones often have the biggest impact. Let me share an example of a tough but worthwhile decision I made. I partnered with Bellwether Coffee on a program called Tip the Farmer, which allowed customers to directly support coffee farmers. Over time, however, we realized that what worked better for our business was incorporating a small fee into our pricing and donating it directly to the farms. It was more in tune with how our customers wanted to contribute. As the coffee industry grapples with challenges like climate change and ethical sourcing, finding solutions requires innovation, adaptation, and a commitment to sustainability. And there's no one better to break it down than James Hoffman. Let's hear from him again.
Coffee in the future has a number of massive challenges. We have the challenge of climate change impacting where can grow coffee, how much coffee they can grow. Weather has an impact on yields, all of that kind of stuff. Like, we have a host of challenges for specialty coffee coming. Building relationships with producers, understanding your supply chain, caring about your supply chain will have benefits down the line as coffee gets to be a little bit more difficult as an industry. I think something I keep coming back to is that there has to be a broad array of approaches to how we roast, sell, and brew coffee. And so I think there's absolutely a ton of opportunities out there for cafes who want to make roasting a part of what they do without becoming a coffee roasting business, without devoting the resources, without devoting all of the labor necessarily to do that, to have a little competitive advantage, to have something that is a deepening of a relationship with their guests, that is a way to make their business slightly diversified without being a distraction.
So here's the thing. Sustainability and ethics in coffee aren't just trends. They're smart business. Whether it's using a greener roaster, sourcing better coffee beans, or even just educating your customers, every step counts. But you know what? That's enough about my experience. I want to hear from you. Have you adopted any sustainable practices in your coffee business? If not, what is stopping you from making the leap? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more tips, and I'll see you guys in the next video.